We arrived at Valvantan Koti refugee camp in the morning. India, Tamil Nadu province, south of Chennai. One of 113 camps of Tamil refugees from the Civil War in Sri Lanka. This was the first refugee camp we were visiting on the trip. It was the first refugee camp I was visiting ever. I've helped with some sponsorships of resettling people to Canada, but this was the first time I was going to see the other side of that sponsorship equation. See a camp where refugees had to spend years waiting for a solution to the problem that made them refugees in the first place. I was there as part of a delegation from the Primates World Relief and Development Fund, the Anglican Church of Canada's development and aid agency. We were there to visit the refugees and offer the organization for Elam Refugee Rehabilitation, the organization that had been working with them and helping them. This camp had almost 500 families living in it. Through self-organization, they had been able to take care of themselves pretty well. They had decent water, good health and education programs. There were no shortage of concerns, though, like never being able to go back to Sri Lanka, not being able to live and work legally in India, any kind of a decent future for their children. Their children. When we met with the community leaders, we found out that a 3-year-old boy had died that morning, electrocuted, exposed wiring in the house. The whole community was affected. They were all mourning the loss. They had been slowly, properly wiring the houses to avoid this sort of thing. Too late. Again. They had heard that there was a priest in our group. They asked me right then and there to pray for the boy after they told us. So I did. Give rest, O Christ, to your servants with your saints, where sorrow and pain are no more, neither sighing, but life everlasting. I offered up prayers for this boy and his community, for these people who, for no other fault than being caught in the midst of a civil war, had their lives uprooted and changed for the worse, persecuted for things they hadn't done in their homeland, made to suffer because of things that others had done, made examples of. We heard too many other stories of death and tragedy on that trip, more stories of injustice. How can people treat each other this way? How can we human beings do to each other these things? It doesn't make sense. It defies reason. And over again, Jesus is laid in the tomb, and there is weeping and gnashing of teeth. But the resurrection is coming.